Jack Miller sat on the cold concrete steps outside the coffee shop, watching people walk by without looking at him. His hands shook as he held the empty cup that had a few coins in it. The metal parts in his head were hurting again, sending sharp pain through his brain every few minutes. He touched the side of his skull where the doctors had put the implants 5 years ago. Back then, they told him it would help him see better in the dark and think faster. They said it would make him a better soldier. Now the metal was killing him slowly, and he needed money for the medicine that would stop the pain. A man in a black coat walked toward the coffee shop. He had dark hair and looked kind. Jack had seen his face somewhere before, maybe in a movie. The man looked like that famous actor, the one who was always nice to people in real life too. Jack stood up slowly, his legs stiff from sitting too long. He walked over to the man before he could go inside the shop. "Excuse me, sir," Jack said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Could you spare $1? I need it for medicine." The man stopped and looked at Jack carefully. His eyes were different than most people who walked by. He did not look away or pretend not to see him. Instead, he stepped closer. "What kind of medicine?" the man asked. Jack was surprised by the question. Most people just said no and kept walking. Some gave him money without asking anything. Nobody ever wanted to know details. "It's for these," Jack said, pointing to his head. "The implants. They're starting to reject. If I don't get the stabilizer drug soon, they'll fry my brain." The man's face changed. He looked very serious now, almost worried. "When did you get those implants?" the man asked. 5 years ago. I was in the army. They said volunteers could get special equipment to help in combat. I thought it would be good, make me better at my job, maybe keep me alive longer." Jack's head pounded again, making him wince. The man noticed and put his hand on Jack's shoulder. "What's your name, soldier?" "Jack Miller. I was in the 82nd Airborne before ... before this." Jack gestured at his worn clothes and the cup in his hand. The man was quiet for a moment, like he was thinking hard about something important. "Jack, I'm not going to give you $1, the man said. Jack's heart sank. He started to turn away, but the man grabbed his arm gently. "I'm going to give you something much more valuable. Information." Jack looked back at him, confused. "My name is Alex Kane. I used to be a doctor, a brain surgeon. I know about those implants in your head, Jack. I know who made them and why." Dr. Kane looked around to make sure nobody was listening. Then he moved closer to Jack. "Those implants weren't given to you to help you fight better. They were put there to test you, to see how long a human brain could work with military-grade computer parts before it broke down." Jack felt sick. "That's not true. The army doctors sighed. The army doctors lied. Or maybe they didn't know the truth either. But I know because I used to work for the company that made your implants. Titan Industries." The name hit Jack like a punch. He had heard it before, whispered by other veterans who lived on the streets. Some of them had implants too. Some of them had died when their implants failed. "Why are you telling me this?" Jack asked. "Because you're not alone, Jack. There are dozens of people like you in this city, hundreds across the country. All of you were told the same lies. All of you were used as test subjects." Dr. Kane reached into his coat and pulled out a small device that looked like a phone. "This scanner can read the signals from your implants." "May I?" Jack nodded. Dr. Kane held the device near Jack's head. It beeped quietly and showed numbers on its screen, just as I thought. "Your implants aren't just failing randomly, Jack. They're designed to fail. But they're also sending information back to Titan Industries every day. Everything you see, everything you hear, everything you think about." Jack stepped backward, feeling dizzy. "You mean they're watching me?" "Yes, and not just you. Every person with these implants is being watched Titan Industries has been collecting data about how enhanced humans behave when they have nothing left to lose. When they're hungry, desperate, forgotten by society. But why? Dr. Kane put the scanner away and looked directly into Jack's eyes. Because they're planning something big. Something that will change the world. And they need soldiers who can't say no, who have nowhere to run, who nobody will miss if they disappear. Jack felt angry now, angrier than he had been in years. This time he thought his problems were his own fault. He thought he had volunteered for something good, and it just went wrong. But now this stranger was telling him he had been tricked, used, thrown away like garbage. "What do you want me to do about it?" Jack asked. "I want you to come with me. There are others like you who have learned the truth. We're working together to stop Titan Industries before they hurt more people. And if I don't come?" Dr. Kane looked sad. "Then in about 2 weeks your implants will overload your brain and you'll die. The medicine you need costs $3,000 for 1 dose. The government won't pay for it because officially your implants don't exist." Jack thought about his options. He could keep begging for money he would never get enough of. He could wait to die alone on the street. Or he could trust this stranger who seemed to know more about his situation than anyone else. "If you're lying to me, double quotes," Jack started to say. "Then you're no worse off than you are right now, Dr. Kane. Finished. But if I'm telling the truth, and I am, then you have a chance to get your life back. And maybe save some other lives too." Jack looked around at the street where he had been living for 2 years. People walked by without seeing him. Cars drove past without stopping. The world had forgotten about Jack Miller a long time ago. "Okay," Jack said. "I'll come with you." Dr. Kane smiled for the first time. "Good. There are some people you need to meet." 3 days after Jack arrived at the underground station, Maya ran into the main room with her laptop in her hands. Her face was pale and her eyes were wide with fear. "Everyone needs to see this," she called out. People stopped what they were doing and gathered around her. Dr. Kane pushed through the crowd to stand next to Maya's chair. "I've been watching Titan Industries' private messages for weeks," Maya said, her fingers shaking as she typed. "Today I found something terrible." The laptop screen showed an email with the Titan Industries logo at the top. Maya read it out loud so everyone could hear. "Project Clean Sweep will begin in 2 weeks. All enhanced subjects in major cities will receive activation signals on the same day. Targets include shopping centers, schools, and government buildings. Estimated casualties will be high enough to justify full deployment of our security forces." The room went completely quiet. Jack felt like someone had hit him in the stomach. "They're going to make us attack innocent people," Lisa said, her voice barely a whisper. Tony's big hands were clenched into fists. "Children. They want us to hurt children." Dr. Kane sat down hard in a chair. "We knew they were planning something, but this is worse than we thought." "There's more," Maya said. She scrolled down to show another message. "They're going to activate every enhanced person at the same time, even the ones who don't know they have implants. The signal will override their free will completely." Carl stood up quickly. "We have to warn people. We have to tell the government what Titan is planning." "Who's going to believe us?" Lisa asked. "We're homeless people with metal in our heads. They'll think we're crazy." "Maybe not everyone will think that," Dr. Kane said slowly. He looked like he was getting an idea. 2 hours later, Dr. Kane left the underground station alone. He told the others he was going to try something dangerous. Jack wanted to go with him, but Dr. Kane said it was too risky. While Dr. Kane was gone, Maya kept working on her computer. She was trying to find a way to block the activation signal that Titan would send to all the enhanced people. "The signal comes through the same network that monitors us," she explained to Jack. "If I can write a virus to attack their system, maybe I can stop them from controlling people." Can you do it in 2 weeks? I don't know. It's very complicated. Their security is really good. That night, while most people were sleeping, Jack heard footsteps in the tunnel. Dr. Kane was coming back, but he wasn't alone. A woman in expensive suit was walking with him. "This is Senator Beth Cooper," Dr. Kane announced to the few people who were still awake. "She's been investigating Titan Industries for months." Senator Cooper looked around the underground station with amazement. "I had no idea there were so many of you." "Senator Cooper has been trying to stop Titan's government contracts," Dr. Kane explained. "But she didn't have proof of what they were really doing." "I have proof now," Senator Cooper said. "What you've shown me tonight changes everything." "But we have a problem. Titan Industries has people everywhere in the government. Some of my own staff might be working for them." Lisa stepped forward. "What can you do to help us?" "I can try to get a congressional hearing started, but that will take weeks, maybe months." "We don't have months," Tony said. "We have less than 2 weeks before they activate everyone." Senator Cooper nodded. "Then we need to find another way to stop them." "Do you have any ideas?" Maya looked up from her computer. "I'm working on a virus that could shut down their control system. But I need to get it into their main computer network somehow." "Their main computers are in a facility in Nevada," Dr. Kane said. "It's heavily guarded. Getting inside would be almost impossible." Jack had been listening quietly, but now he spoke. What if someone let them capture him on purpose?" Everyone turned to look at Jack. "Think about it. They want enhanced people. If one of us got caught, they would take us to their facility to study us. Once we're inside, we could upload Maya's virus." "That's suicide," Carl said. "If they capture you, they'll run experiments on you until you die." "Maybe, but if we don't try something, thousands of innocent people will die in 2 weeks. Dr. Kane was quiet for a long time. Finally he spoke. "It might work. But it would have to be someone whose implants are still connected to their network. Someone they think they can still control." "That's me," Jack said. "My implants are failing, but they're still sending signals to Titan. They still think I'm just a homeless man they're monitoring." Senator Cooper shook her head. "I can't let you do this. It's too dangerous." "With respect, Senator, it's not your choice," Jack replied. "This is what soldiers do. We risk our lives to protect other people." Over the next few days, Maya worked day and night to finish her virus. Dr. Kane used his medical knowledge to help Jack prepare for what might happen to him in Titan's facility. "They'll probably run tests on your brain," Dr. Kane warned. "It will be painful. You'll have to pretend that their control system is working on you. How will I know when to upload the virus?" "Maya is building a timer into it. Exactly 72 hours after you're captured, the virus will activate automatically. All you have to do is get to a computer terminal and plug in this device." Dr. Kane showed Jack a small metal stick that looked like a USB drive. Lisa had been teaching Jack how to fight with his enhanced abilities. "Your neural implants make you faster and stronger than normal people," she explained. "But you have to learn to use them without letting Titan know you can control them." On the last day before the mission, everyone in the underground station gathered around Jack. These people had become his family in just 1 week. "Remember," Dr. Kane said, "once you're inside their facility, you're on your own. We won't be able to help you. I understand." Maya gave him the USB device with the virus. "This will free every enhanced person in the world. But once you use it, Titan will know where it came from. They'll send everything they have to stop us. Then, we better be ready for a fight," Tony said. Cracking his knuckles. Senator Cooper stepped forward. "If you do this, if you save all those innocent people, I promise you that the world will know what you did. You won't be forgotten anymore." Jack looked around at all the faces watching him. A week ago, he had been ready to die alone on the street. Now he had a chance to save thousands of lives. "It's time to go," he said as Jack walked toward the tunnel entrance. He could hear his new family wishing him luck. He was scared, but he was also proud. For the first time in years, Jack Miller felt like a soldier again. Jack walked slowly through downtown Los Angeles, making sure to stay in areas where he knew Titan Industries had cameras. He needed them to see him and think he was just wandering around like any other homeless person. He had been walking for 3 hours when he saw the black van parked at the end of the street. 2 men in dark suits were watching him through the van's windows. Jack pretended not to notice them and kept walking. The van started following him. Jack turned down an empty alley, just like Dr. Kane had told him to do. He heard car doors slamming. Behind him, "Hey, you!" one of the men shouted. Jack turned around and tried to look scared. It wasn't hard because he really was scared. "What do you want?" Jack asked. The 2 men walked toward him. They were both big and looked like soldiers. One of them was holding a small device that beeped when he pointed it at Jack's head. "He's got the implants," the man said to his partner. "Neural enhancement. Military grade." "Please, I don't want any trouble," Jack said, backing away from them. "Too late for that," the second man said. He pulled out a gun that shot electric bolts instead of bullets. "You're coming with us." The electric bolt hit Jack in the chest, and his whole body went stiff. He fell to the ground and couldn't move. The last thing he saw before everything went black was the 2 men lifting him into the van. When Jack woke up, he was in a small white room with no windows. His hands were tied to a metal chair, and his head was pounding. There were wires attached to his temples, probably monitoring his brain activity. A door opened, and a woman in a lab coat walked in. She had gray hair and looked tired, like she hadn't slept in days. "Hello, Jack Miller," she said, looking at a tablet in her hands. "My name is Dr. Rebecca Stone. I'm going to be taking care of you during your stay here." Jack tried to look confused. "Where am I? What do you want with me?" "You're in a medical facility. We're going to help you with those failing implants in your head." "I can't afford any medical treatment." Dr. Stone sat down in a chair across from him. "Don't worry about money. This treatment is free. All we ask is that you cooperate with some tests." Jack looked around the room. There were computers and medical equipment everywhere. This was definitely not a normal hospital. "What kind of tests?" "We need to understand how your implants work, how they affect your thoughts and behavior. It's important research that will help other people like you." Dr. Stone asked him many questions about his time in the Army and his life on the streets. Jack answered them carefully, trying to sound like someone who didn't know what was really happening to him. After 2 hours, Dr. Stone left and Jack was alone again. He could feel the timer that Maya had programmed into the virus counting down. In his head, 68 hours left. That night, guards brought Jack food and took him to a bathroom. He got a chance to look around and saw that he was in a huge underground facility. There were dozens of rooms like his, and he could hear voices from inside some of them. "How many people are in here?" Jack asked one of the guards. "Mind your own business," the guard replied. But Jack had enhanced hearing from his implants. He could hear conversations from rooms that were far away. There were a lot of people in this facility, and most of them sounded scared. The next day, Dr. Stone came back with more tests. This time she brought another doctor with her, a young man who kept staring at Jack like he was some kind of interesting animal. "We're going to try something new today," Dr. Stone said. "We're going to send some signals to your implants and see how you respond." "What kind of signals?" "Don't worry. You might feel a little strange, but it won't hurt." The young doctor turned on a machine that started making a high-pitched noise. Suddenly, Jack felt something pushing against his thoughts. It was like someone was trying to take control of his mind. "Stand up," Dr. Stone said. Jack felt his body wanting to obey the command, but he fought against it. Dr. Kane had taught him how to resist the control signals, by focusing on memories of the people he cared about. He thought about Lisa and Tony, and Maya and all the other people in the underground station. "I said stand up," Dr. Stone repeated, sounding frustrated. Jack stayed in his chair. "I don't want to stand up." The two doctors looked at each other with surprise. "Increase the signal strength," the young doctor said. The pushing feeling in Jack's head got stronger, but he kept thinking about his friends. He would not let Titan Industries control him. After an hour of trying, Dr. Stone turned off the machine. "That's enough for today," she said. She looked worried about something. That night, Jack heard footsteps in the hallway outside his room. Someone was walking very quietly, like they didn't want the guards to hear them. His door opened slowly, and Dr. Stone came in. She wasn't wearing her lab coat and she looked scared. "We need to talk," she whispered. Jack pretended to be asleep, but kept listening. "I know you're awake," Dr. Stone said. "And I know you're not really under our control. You're resisting the signal somehow." Jack opened his eyes and looked at her. "I've been working on this project for 3 years," Dr. Stone continued. "At first, I thought we were helping people. But now I know the truth. We're turning people into weapons." "Why are you telling me this?" "Because tomorrow they're going to send activation signals to every enhanced person in the country. Hundreds of people are going to be forced to attack innocent civilians. And it's partly my fault because I helped build the system that controls them." Jack sat up in his chair. "Can you stop it? Not by myself, but maybe together we can do something." "Doctor." Stone walked over to the computer in Jack's room and started typing. "There's another enhanced person here who's been fighting the control signals like you. His name is Marcus Wright. He's been here for 6 months, and he's gotten very good at pretending to be under control while actually staying free." "Where is he?" 3 floors down, in the high-security section. Tomorrow, they're planning to use him as the leader of one of the attack teams." Jack felt sick thinking about what that meant. "I can get you out of this room," Dr. Stone said. "But once you're free, you'll have to find Marcus on your own. The facility has over 200 guards, and they all have weapons. What about you? What will happen when they find out you helped me?" Dr. Stone smiled sadly. "I stopped caring about that a long time ago. All I care about now is making sure no innocent people get hurt." She finished typing, and Jack heard his restraints click open. "You have about 10 minutes before the guards check on you again," she said. "The elevator to the lower levels is at the end of this hallway. Marcus is in room B47. Jack stood up and stretched his arms. "Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Thank me when you stop them from hurting people." Dr. Stone left the room first to make sure the hallway was clear. Jack waited 30 seconds, then followed her out. He had 42 hours left to find Marcus, upload the virus, and somehow get out of the facility alive. The hardest part of his mission was just beginning. Jack moved quietly down the hallway, listening for guards. His enhanced hearing picked up footsteps 2 floors above him and voices from the security office at the other end of the building. He had learned to use his implants better during his time with Dr. Kane's group. The elevator was exactly where Dr. Stone said it would be. Jack pressed the button for the lower level and held his breath as the elevator went down. If anyone was watching the security cameras, they would see him soon. The doors opened to a hallway that looked much different from the upper floors. Here, the walls were made of thick metal and the doors had heavy locks on them. This was where they kept the people they wanted to control completely. Jack found room B47 and looked through the small window in the door. Inside, he saw a man about his own age sitting on a bed. The man had short brown hair and scars on his arms. Even sitting still, he looked strong and dangerous. Jack opened the door carefully. The man looked up at him without surprise, like he had been expecting someone to come. "You must be the new guy Dr. Stone told me about," the man said quietly. "I'm Marcus Wright." "Jack Miller. Dr. Stone said you've been fighting their control signals. Marcus stood up and walked to the door. For 6 months. They think I'm their perfect soldier, but really I'm just pretending. The trick is to let them think they're winning while you stay free inside your own head. How many other people are in this place? About 300. Most of them don't even know what's happening to them. The control signals make them think. They're having dreams about being soldiers again. Jack felt angry thinking about all those people being used without knowing it. We need to get to the main computer room, Jack said. I have something that can stop all of this. Marcus looked at him carefully. What kind of something? Jack showed him the small USB device that Maya had given him. It's a virus that will break their control over everyone with implants. But I need to plug it into their main computer system. That's on the top floor. Getting there won't be easy. Do you know another way besides the elevators? Marcus smiled. I've been planning to escape for months. I know this place better than the guards do. They left Marcus's room and walked down the hallway together. Marcus led Jack to a door that said maintenance only on it. The air system runs through the whole building, Marcus explained. The passages are big enough for people to crawl through. They climbed into the air ducts and started moving toward the center of the building. It was dark and hot, but Jack could hear Marcus moving ahead of him. Marcus, Jack whispered, what did they tell you when they brought you here? Same lies they probably told you. That I volunteered for experimental surgery to become a better soldier, that I was helping my country. Do you remember your life before? Every day. I remember my unit, my friends, my family. That's how I stay free. I never let myself forget who I really am. They crawled for 20 minutes before Marcus stopped at a metal grate. Computer room is right below us, he whispered. Jack looked down through the grate and saw rows of big computers with lights blinking on them. 2 technicians were working at desks, but they weren't paying attention to anything except their screens. How do we get down there without them seeing us? Marcus pointed to another passage that went sideways. There's another way in from the side, but we'll have to time it right. They crawled to the side entrance and waited. One of the technicians got up and left the room. The other one had his back turned to them. Marcus opened the grate very slowly so it wouldn't make noise. He dropped down into the room, and Jack followed him. They hid behind the big computers and moved closer to the main terminal. Jack could see the USB port where he needed to plug in Maya's virus. The remaining technician was only 10 feet away from them. His fingers were typing on a keyboard, and he was looking at numbers on his screen. Jack started to move toward the terminal. But Marcus grabbed his arm. Wait, Marcus whispered. Something's wrong. Jack listened with his enhanced hearing. There were more footsteps in the hallway than there should be. Lots of footsteps like people running. Suddenly, alarms started going off all over the building. Red lights flashed and a voice came over the speakers. Security breach in Sector 7. All guards report to Sector 7 immediately. The technician in the room with them jumped up and ran toward the door. They found out we escaped, Jack said. Doesn't matter. We're here now. Marcus looked at the main computer terminal. Do it. Jack ran to the terminal and plugged in the USB device. The computer screen changed and started showing code scrolling very fast. Maya's virus was uploading into Titan's system. How long does it take? Marcus asked, watching the door. I don't know. Maya didn't tell me. The footsteps in the hallway were getting closer. Jack could hear guards shouting orders to each other. Upload complete, the computer screen said. Jack pulled out the USB device just as the door burst open. 6 guards with guns ran into the room. Freeze! One of them shouted, but something strange was happening. The computers around them started making different sounds. Lights that had been green turned red. Screens that showed normal information started showing error messages. And then Jack felt something he had never felt before. It was like voices in his head, but not trying to control him. Other voices, lots of them, talking to him. "Who is this?" one voice asked inside Jack's mind. "Someone new," another voice answered. "Someone who set us free." Marcus was looking around with amazement. "I can hear them too. All of them." The guards were trying to shoot, but their weapons wouldn't work. The computer virus had affected every electronic system in the building. "This is impossible," one of the guards said. But Jack understood what was happening. Maya's virus hadn't just broken Titan's control over enhanced people. It had connected all the enhanced people to each other through their implants. For the first time, 300 enhanced humans could talk to each other directly, mind to mind. "We're not alone anymore," Marcus said, his eyes wide with wonder. Through the mental connection, Jack could feel what all the other enhanced people were feeling. Confusion at first, then understanding, then anger. Anger at being lied to, anger at being used, anger at being forgotten by the world above, but most of all, anger at being forced to hurt innocent people. "What do we do now?" someone asked through the mental link. Jack answered in his thoughts, and everyone could hear him. "Now we fight back." All over the building, enhanced people started breaking out of their rooms. 300 people who had been turned into weapons were now working together with one goal: stop Titan Industries from hurting anyone else. The guards tried to stop them, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. Enhanced humans were stronger, faster, and smarter than normal people. And now they were all working together. Marcus grabbed Jack's arm. "We need to get to the surface. The others will need leaders." As they ran toward the elevator, Jack felt proud. Maya's virus had worked better than any of them had hoped. The enhanced people weren't just free from Titan's control. They were connected to each other in a way that would make them impossible to defeat. The revolution had begun. 6 months after the virus broke Titan Industries' control system, Jack Miller stood in front of the United States Capitol building. He was wearing a clean suit instead of his old homeless clothes, but he still felt nervous about speaking to important people. Senator Beth Cooper walked up to him with a big smile on her face. "Are you ready for this?" she asked. Jack looked at the crowd of reporters and cameras waiting for him. "I think so." Today was the day that Congress would vote on the Enhanced Human Protection Act. The law would make sure that people like Jack got help instead of being used as test subjects. "Remember," Senator Cooper said, "just tell them your story. Tell them what really happened." Jack walked up to the microphone and looked out at all the people watching him. 6 months ago, nobody would have listened to a homeless man with metal in his head. Now the whole world wanted to hear what he had to say. "My name is Jack Miller," he began. "6 months ago, I was living on the streets and dying slowly from experimental implants that a company put in my brain, without telling me what they really were." He told them about meeting Dr. Kane, about learning the truth, about the underground station where forgotten people took care of each other. He told them about the plan to make enhanced humans attack innocent people. "The most important thing I learned," Jack said, "is that every person has value. Even people that society has forgotten about. Especially people that society has forgotten about." When Jack finished speaking, the crowd was completely quiet for a moment. Then they started clapping, and the clapping got louder and louder. Later that day, Congress voted. The Enhanced Human Protection Act passed by a huge majority. Enhanced humans would get medical care, job training, and help finding homes. No one could experiment on people without telling them the complete truth ever again. But Jack knew that passing a law was just the beginning. That evening, Jack went back to the old subway station where Dr. Kane's group still lived. Many of the enhanced people had found apartments and jobs above ground, but they still came back here for meetings. "How did it go?" Dr. Kane asked when Jack walked into the main room. "We won. The law passed." Everyone in the room cheered. "Lisa." Park hugged Jack so hard that she almost broke his ribs with her enhanced strength. "What happens now?" Tony Garcia asked. Now we keep working, Jack said. There are still enhanced people all over the world who need help. And there are still companies like Titan Industries who think they can use people and throw them away. Maya Chun looked up from her computer. I've been tracking down other enhanced humans using the mental connection network. There are thousands of them in other countries. Some of them don't even know what was done to them. Then we'll find them, Jack said. We'll help them understand what they are and teach them that they're not alone. Over the next few weeks, Jack traveled to cities across America. In each place, he found enhanced humans who were living on the streets or hiding from the world. He told them about the mental connection network and taught them how to use it. The network had grown stronger since the day they broke free from Titan Industries. Enhanced humans could now communicate across thousands of miles just by thinking. They shared information, helped each other find jobs and homes, and made sure that no one was forgotten. One day, while Jack was visiting enhanced humans in Chicago, he got a message through the mental network that made him smile. Jack, this is Carl Davis. I'm in Germany now, helping enhanced people here. You should see this place. There are hundreds of us working together to build something amazing. Messages like that came every day now. Enhanced humans were not just surviving. They were making the world better. 3 months later, Jack was walking down the same street in Los Angeles where he had first met Dr. Kane. He passed the coffee shop where he used to sit with his empty cup, asking for money. Now he was walking to his new job. The government had hired him to run a program that helped veterans with experimental modifications. Every day, he talked to people who had been used and forgotten, and he helped them find their way back to a normal life. As he walked, Jack saw a man sitting on the steps of a building. The man was dirty and thin, and he had a cup with a few coins in it. But what caught Jack's attention was the small scar on the side of the man's head, right where an implant would be. Jack walked over to the man and sat down next to him. Rough day? Jack asked. The man looked at him suspiciously. Yeah, rough year actually. What's your name? Pete Williams. I used to be in the Marines before. Pete touched the scar on his head. Before they gave you something that was supposed to make you a better soldier? Pete's eyes went wide. How did you know that? Jack smiled and gently put his hand on Pete's shoulder. Because the same thing happened to me. And I want you to know that you're not alone anymore. Through the mental connection network, Jack sent a message to enhanced humans all over the world. We have a new family member in Los Angeles. Pete Williams, former Marine. He needs our help. Within seconds, messages came back from hundreds of enhanced humans offering support, advice, and friendship. I don't understand what's happening, Pete said, looking confused. You will, Jack replied. And when you do, you'll realize that being enhanced isn't a curse, it's a gift. Not because of what it does to your body, but because of the family it connects you to. Jack helped Pete stand up and brush the dirt off his clothes. Come on, Jack said. Let me show you where you belong. As they walked away from the street corner, Jack thought about how much had changed in less than a year. He had gone from being a forgotten homeless man to being a leader in a movement that was changing the world. But the most important change wasn't in what he could do or how strong he was. The most important change was that he was no longer alone. None of them were alone anymore. The enhanced humans had learned something that the companies like Titan Industries never understood. When people take care of each other, when they refuse to let anyone be forgotten, they become stronger than any weapon. And that strength would make sure that no one would ever be used and thrown away again. Jack Miller was no longer homeless, he was home. 1 year later, Jack Miller woke up in his small apartment and looked out the window at the city below. The morning sun was shining on buildings where he knew dozens of enhanced humans were starting their day, with real jobs and real homes. Put on his work clothes and walked to the kitchen to make coffee. On the table was a newspaper with a headline that made him smile. Enhanced Human Center opens in Detroit, Former homeless veterans now help others. Jack had read stories like this every week for months. Enhanced humans were not hiding anymore. They were doctors, teachers, police officers, and firefighters. They used their abilities to help people instead of hurt them. His phone rang while he was drinking his coffee. "Hello, Jack. This is Dr. Kane." "Good morning, Alex. How are things at the medical center?" Dr. Kane was now running a hospital that specialized in helping enhanced humans with their implants and modifications. He had saved hundreds of lives in the past year. "Busy as always, but I'm calling about something else. We just got word that there's another company trying to start a program like Titan Industries had." Jack felt his stomach tighten. "Where?" "South America. A company called Phoenix Corporation. They're targeting street children this time." "Children?" Jack's voice got angry. "They want to experiment on children?" "That's what our sources say. Maya has been tracking their communications for weeks." Jack set down his coffee cup. "What do we do?" "Same thing we always do. We stop them before they can hurt anyone." After he hung up the phone, Jack sent a message through the mental connection network that all enhanced humans shared. Within minutes, he had responses from people all over the world. "This is Lisa Park in New York. I can be ready to travel in 2 hours. Tony Garcia here. My team in Texas is standing by. Maya Chun in San Francisco. I've already started hacking into Phoenix Corporation's computers. Carl Davis in Berlin. European enhanced humans are ready to help." Jack smiled as the messages kept coming. The network that had started with a few dozen forgotten people in an abandoned subway station now included thousands of enhanced humans on every continent. 2 hours later, Jack was on a plane to Brazil with Lisa and Tony. During the flight, Maya sent them information she had found about Phoenix Corporation. "They're using the same methods Titan Industries used," Maya's voice said in their heads through the mental link. "But they're being more careful. They're working with corrupt police who bring them children that no one will miss." Jack felt sick thinking about children being used the same way he had been used. "How many children do they have?" Lisa asked through the mental connection. "At least 50 that we know of. Maybe more." When their plane landed in Brazil, they were met by Carlos Santos, an enhanced human who lived in Rio de Janeiro. Carlos had been working undercover for months to learn about Phoenix Corporation. "The facility is hidden in the mountains outside the city," Carlos explained as they drove through the busy streets. "It looks like a school from the outside, but it's really a laboratory." "What kind of enhancements are they giving the children?" Tony asked. "Mostly physical modifications. Enhanced speed, strength, improved senses. They're trying to create perfect spies and assassins." Jack thought about the children trapped in that facility. They were probably scared and confused, just like he had been when Titan Industries captured him. "We're going to get them out," Jack said. That night, 30 enhanced humans from around the world gathered in a warehouse in Rio. Some had flown in from other countries. Others lived in South America and had traveled for days to get there. Jack looked at all the faces around him. A year ago, these people had been forgotten by the world. Now they were working together to save children they had never met. "This is different from what we did to Titan Industries," Jack told the group. "This time, we're not just breaking people free from control systems. We're rescuing children who might not understand what's happening to them." "What's the plan?" asked Maria Lopez, an enhanced human from Mexico. Maya's voice came through the mental network from thousands of miles away. "I've disabled their security systems and communications. You'll have about 20 minutes before they can call for help. Lisa will lead one team to secure the children," Jack continued. "Tony will lead another team to capture the scientists and executives. I'll go after their computer systems to make sure they can't rebuild somewhere else." "What about the children who have already been enhanced?" Carlos asked. "Some of them might be controlled by the corporation. Then we'll free them the same." way we were freed, Jack said. We'll show them they're not alone. The next morning, they approached the Phoenix Corporation facility just as the sun was rising. It did look like a school from the outside, with a playground and colorful buildings. But Jack could see the hidden cameras and the guards trying to look like teachers. Remember, Jack said through the mental network, these children have been told lies just like we were. They might be afraid of us at first. The enhanced humans moved quickly and quietly. Lisa's team went through the back of the building while Tony's team entered from the front. Jack climbed onto the roof and found a way into the computer room. Inside the building, Jack could hear children crying and adults shouting orders in Portuguese. The sounds made him move faster. He found the main computer and plugged in a device that Maya had given him. This virus was different from the one they had used on Titan Industries. This one would not just break control systems. It would also call the police and news reporters to come to the facility. While the virus uploaded, Jack heard Lisa's voice in his head. We found them, 53 children, ages 8 to 16. Some of them have fresh surgery scars. Are they okay? Scared, but alive. Tony's team has captured 12 scientists and executives. Good. I'm almost finished here. The computer screen showed that the virus had finished uploading. Every file about Phoenix Corporation's experiments was now being sent to police departments, government agencies, and news organizations around the world. Jack left the computer room and went to find the children. He found them in a large room that looked like a dormitory. They were huddled together, looking frightened. It's okay, Jack said in Portuguese, which his enhanced brain had learned from Carlos during the flight. We're here to help you. A little girl who looked about 10 years old stepped forward. She had a small bandage on her head where they had probably put an implant. Are you going to hurt us too? She asked. Jack knelt down so he was at her eye level. No, we're going to take you somewhere safe. And we're going to make sure that no one ever hurts you again. Through the mental network, Jack felt the emotions of all the enhanced humans in the building. They were all thinking the same thing. These children would never be forgotten or thrown away. 6 hours later, the children were in a real school in Rio de Janeiro. Doctors were checking them to see what had been done to them. Social workers were helping them contact their families. The scientists from Phoenix Corporation were in jail. The news media was reporting the story around the world. And Maya had found evidence that would shut down similar companies in 5 other countries. Jack stood outside the school and watched the children playing in the playground. Some of them were moving faster than normal children because of their enhancements. But they were laughing and acting like kids should act. We did good today, Lisa said, walking up to stand next to him. Yes, we did. But there will be more companies, like Phoenix. More people who think they can use others and throw them away. Then we'll stop them too, Tony said, joining the conversation. As many times as it takes, Jack nodded. A year ago, he had been one forgotten man asking for $1 on a street corner. Now he was part of a global family that made sure no one was ever forgotten. The enhanced humans had learned something important. When people refuse to let others be thrown away, when they fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, they become unstoppable, and they would keep fighting for as long as there were people who needed help.